Well, good evening, folks. Welcome back to the farm. We're just getting the last light of the day here. I can't wait. I can't wait until it's light, till about 9 o'clock at night. But it is a beautiful evening. As you can see, we're out of the, I guess it's not as you can see, but I'm going to tell you anyways, we're out of the deep freeze. It's been between minus 35 and minus 40 for several days in a row. And thankfully, Mother Nature said enough of that. And it's right now, it's a balmy minus 11. I stepped out this morning when I went to work. It was minus 25. And it actually felt tropical. Like, that's crazy how quickly, just like 10 degrees. That's all it takes to feel nice and warm. Anyhow, speaking of nice and warm, I had quite a few folks in the last couple days. I don't know if it's like a video anniversary or just what it is. They were asking about the coat I wear. And when I first got it, I think it's like 2 years now since I got this coat. And so surprising to see questions pop up now, but a few folks kind of circle back and said, okay, now we're a few years in, like, should we buy one? So for anybody who's wondering, it's a game quilted wax jacket. Comes from the UK. I can't remember how much I paid for it, but I have worn it almost every day for the last 2 years, with the exception of course, days like we just had where it was minus 40, and then probably got 2 coats on at that point in time. But yeah, all in all, it has held up fantastically well. Everything's still intact. I think one of these pockets, one of them has a hole in the bottom of the pocket from right there, from when I was packing fencing staples around. I can probably take that to the sewing machine and stitch it right up. But as far as fit, I got this, it's a 2XL. It's a European 2XL, which translates to a North American XL. I don't think it's supposed to translate that way, but I bought a 2XL because it's easier to have a baggy coat than to buy an XL and maybe have one that's a little bit too snug. And it actually just fit perfectly. I can put a sweater underneath or not, whatever I choose to do. And it's actually just fantastic. I just love it. The other thing I love about it is, on the inside, it's quilted. So it's, and you got that, quilting right there. So it's, it's not hot by any means. Again, I'm not going to wear it at minus 40. But days where, it's cool in the spring or in the fall, chuck this on and I'm good all day long. I can work all day long in this and never get too hot, never get too cold. And it can pour rain. The thing's waterproof. I actually haven't even re-waxed the jacket yet. I probably am due for that by what now? But still waterproof, still keeps the cold out. I'd say all in all, that's money well spent. The other thing I love about this coat is the side pockets, right? Keep your hand in here at a reasonable height. But what does the guy keep in here? Perfect little pocket for, hey, look at that, pocket knife. Little everyday carry. Gotta burn some garbage. Got a lighter I got from the Outpost, the old antique shop in Hythe there. So works pretty good. What do I keep in that pocket? Well, when I'm doing chores and I'm not filming, that's where I tuck my phone, and it doesn't fall out on the ground and get stepped on. So that's pretty important too. Now, when I got the coat, it one side or the other, I think it was this side right here, had a little flap that was stitched on, and you could technically button your collar right up and then put that flap across. And I just took a sharp knife and just ever so gently cut all those stitches off, because I didn't want that flap just dangling there. It was actually like the second most annoying thing in my life at that point in time. So I did cut that off. One small modification, but other than that, no complaints whatsoever. Anyways, I'm gonna run some yesterday's bread over to the chickens there, get them topped up. I'm gonna check in on their water. I'm hoping, I bought them a 7-gallon waterer from PV Mart during their 30% off closing out sale. And I'm kind of hoping to see if that 7-gallon jug will actually last 7 days. That would be really interesting. Now, this is with the chickens. They've been closed up in the chicken house. They've been in confinement for 7 days. Not because anything's wrong. It's just cold as balls outside, and I just haven't let them out. And so I've just been keeping them cooped up. Today, I'm going to open everything back up in there and let them get back outside. Now, if they're outside and they're going to, from, time to time, they're going to eat a little bit of snow. They're going to actually probably consume a little bit less water than maybe they would if they'd just been in confinement. But nevertheless, we'll see how they've been doing there. Been looking here, you can see I filled this up last Saturday. Today is Thursday evening, and it's right there. So Yeah, that's pretty good. We'll see. I'll check it again tomorrow night. I want to make sure that they don't run out, right? That's not the intent, is to run them right on empty like the old wife's gas tank there. That's not the plan, but it definitely is interesting to see how long they make it last. Just give them their bread there. They all come flying out of the roost, get their supper. So that's good. I forgot the basket, but I gotta collect the eggs. Generally, when we pen them up, when it gets real cold like that, they don't lay as many eggs as when they can get out and get some sunshine. Even though we do have auxiliary lighting in here. I ran that one just to come inside, but it's actually that one over there on that wall that's the auxiliary light. It's set up on a timer. So the timer's constantly plugged into power, and then just a little light bulb and a plug-in socket. It comes on at 3 o'clock in the morning, goes off at 9 a.m. I could probably even tweak that a little bit now, because I think it's daylight by like 8 o'clock, so I'm probably burning an hour's worth of power for nothing. So I'll maybe tweak that there this weekend and get everything reset where it needs to be for what our current sun up and sun down times are. I say sun up, sun down times, really just the sun up time. Sun down, we just let the natural sunlight decline. You find that if the light just clicks off and it was light and then suddenly it's not light, it causes additional and unnecessary stress to the chickens, which of course, you know what stress does to them. They don't lay as many eggs. They do, of course, eat just as much food. So you kind of want to keep them earning their keep. Speaking of earning their keep, there was I was asking Charlotte what she wanted for her birthday, and she told me she wanted an incubator for her birthday. So she wants us. We got one rooster in here with the ladies, so we're gonna try and. There's a couple of fancier hens. Set them off with the rooster, get them to lay their eggs, and we chuck them in the incubator and maybe hatch out some pretty chickens. But the wife found one from one of the ladies that's in 4-H, and for a couple $100. So she was gonna drop that off at work today, but I guess she must have got waylaid. So we're gonna line up next week, see if we can get an incubator, and that'll be one of Charlotte's birthday gifts. And then hopefully, March, April, somewhere in there, once the weather starts to warm up, we'll put a batch in so that it's nice and warm by the time they hatch out. Again, you don't really want to be running too much for heat lamps and space heaters in the coop, but or the brooder, but whatever you got to do to keep them alive, I guess. Now we've never hatched out any chicks in an incubator. We've hatched out probably a dozen or more, maybe even 15 over a few years here. Just the ones that, you know, they get fertilized and then the broody hens lay on them and then they hatch them out. We had 2 last year that hatched out, and as luck would have it, they both turned out to be hens, so that's fortunate. We're assuming though we put them in the incubator, we're gonna get 50% roosters. But the real drive for it, I mean, I was already looking at incubators. I already had one saved on my Amazon wish list, so I was already thinking. It was kind of interesting that the kids would say they wanted to do it too, but the real drive for it is we started looking at pricing from the hatchery. Every year we've been getting 25 or 30 new laying hens just to kind of keep everybody rotating through. And of course we get the meat birds every year, and we're going to keep doing the meat birds through the hatchery just because that's just easier. But the price, oh my goodness, the price is going through the roof here on these chicks. And so for a couple $100, if you hatch enough out in a year, and that's not a very big number, that little incubator pays for itself pretty quickly. Anyways, I better get some meat out of the freezer for the dogs for tomorrow, and then head back inside, get a cup of tea. I left the kids inside watching Terminator 3, so they should be getting scared by now. So so let's go for now. Hope you're having a fantastic evening. We'll see you tomorrow.